first ever gun debate held on this show. In the right corner, we have Ben Shapiro.
Thank you for having me, Thomas.
And in the left corner, Big Honey.
Thank you for pronouncing it correctly, sir.
Tonight's argument will be over gun control. So, Ben, I saw you release a statement after a Las Vegas shooting over a year ago saying, "I don't know why everyone is so surprised by death count. If you can't protect yourself from bad people with guns, there will be a lot of carnage." What do you mean by this?
Yeah, well, I believe that the only way to stop a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun. And the people who commit these vile acts know this, so they always go to places where people are defenseless and can't defend themselves and where guns are prohibited. According to the USA Today, every single mass shooting, with the exception of one since 1950, has happened in a gun-free zone. And this is kind of self-evident. You pick on the people who are defenseless. If you want to commit an act of violence, you're not going to go to people who can shoot back at you. You're going to go to people who are innocent and can't defend themselves.
Well, that may be true. One thing that mass shooters need is guns that can shoot quickly with a high magazine. And one gun that does it perfectly for them is the assault rifle. Now, from 1994 to 2004, the U.S. government started a federal assault rifle ban. And after this ban ended, the statistics are amazing. 370% increase in mass shootings after the ban. So why doesn't the U.S. federal government just re-implement?
Well, let me stop you there. So, assault rifles, a lot of people think of the assault rifles as this big, mean, deadly gun, right? But according to the FBI, assault rifles account for less than 6% of all gun deaths combined. And people talk about this, it's just an anecdotal thing where people take it out of one situation that comes out. You have many mass shootings, for example, the one in Texas, in Springfield, where the person was stopped by an assault rifle. So that I don't think it matters on the type of gun or the gun that they have. I think that mass shooters will use whatever they have at their disposal, whether that be legal or illegal guns, to commit these vile acts. And I think that enabling those innocent people to fight back and defend themselves, I think that's the best way to counteract those vile acts.
So we know that mass shootings are a big topic in the news and everything, but what is kind of overlooked is suicides. So what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Suicides are a very important part of gun-related deaths. For instance, there were 31,000 homicides or gun-related deaths in the U.S. in the past year. And out of those 31,000, 60% of them were because of suicides. Now, we always hear about mass shooting, but you never hear about the silent killer, suicide. And one of the biggest reasons that I'm proposing an anti-gun policy in the U.S. is to stop these suicides. I want a more background check, because many of the times someone commits suicide because of mental illness or not a proper support system. So when we do these checks, we should have a counselor come in and talk with them to make sure their mental health is proper, and then we can give them the handgun.
Well, where you said about the checking for mental health, well, they do actually do this. When you go through a background check, when you purchase a gun, you go through and they go through your records if you have any mental illness, and you're not permitted to be given a gun.
Suicides can easily be prevented. And you say that in the background checks, they already look at mental illness backgrounds, they already look at that. But a simple background check, a simple talk with a guy who doesn't even know the psychology will not really help solve the problem.
Well, you said that with the background check that won't help the problem. They won't know it, or it's just out of the blue almost, and you can't sense it really. But going through a background check and getting access to a gun can take up to several months. So if you have several months where you're thinking about having a gun and wanting to commit suicide, there's no reason just to limit yourself to a gun. There are other means of doing it, as you said, pills. And I can't remember what the other one you said.
Yes.
Also a bridge.
Well, I want to say something to that. Logan Paul, he filmed a person who committed suicide through hanging in Japan, which is a very high suicide rate country as well. And well, this person he made fun of them, and he got a lot of backlash in social media.
How did that person commit suicide again?
He
did
it
with a gun?
He did it through hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And while it may seem that it's not a gun, so it's fine, right? Actually, suicides by hanging, most of the time they are not successful at all.
You just said that it wouldn't be successful by hanging, and they gave an example of when it was successful.
Well, you know what? You look like a lotion, bro.
Boy, you what? Boy,
whoa. Hey, bro, feel the banana. Whoa.
I guess we'll see you guys next time.